Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
Live from beautiful East Islip High School at Boomer Esiason Stadium on a gorgeous Saturday morning. It's time for Long Island girls lacrosse between the Pat-Med Raiders and the East Islip Redmen. I'm Kevin Bunk, joined by my partner today, and we have a great matchup between these two squads for girls lacrosse early in the game here. We thank you for joining us on Varsity Media. And Rob, when you look ahead at this matchup today, early in the season, a lot of stuff for these teams to work on. How do you feel that they should be approaching these early games?
Especially, and you said it, we're on a beautiful day, right? First day we've got sun, 67 degrees outside. So not only are these opponents facing each other, trying to get off to a good start, set a good pace to the season, but also going to be dealing with elements they haven't dealt with in a good way today. Some sun glare, some heat. These teams want to move, keep the transition moving. But will the Heat play a role in this, and they're going to have to sub out? We'll see. But both these teams want to get off to a quick start.
LI Lax Journal named Pat-Med as one of the teams to watch coming into this season. They have a lot of returning players, second year under their head coach. And you look at the players to watch on this team, it starts with Olivia Liddell, who last year had a terrific season for the Raiders. 42 goals, 55 points last season. And also Madison Eddington on the defensive end. She's a key transitional player. Coach told me very aggressive on the ball. And when you have two players like this returning, coming into your program again for another year, and you're trying to take that next leap, really important to get these girls going early, right, Rob?
Yeah, you said it. And this is a team that's kind of laden with upperclassmen. It's a now or never for the next 2 years for this team. And for Liddell and Eddington, expecting big things. Eddington, the straw that stirs the drink, going to try to get it through, and Liddell finishing.
And on the other side, East Islip has their own players to watch. Carly Amato, 23 points in 2024, a good leader on the field for this team. And also Emily McEntee, a senior midfielder, Amato a junior herself. And McEntee had 46 points in 2024, one of the premier producers on Long Island. And again, same deal, East Islip, they have high expectations, they have high hopes after a playoff appearance. They have to get these girls going as well.
Yeah, you said it, this East Islip team wants to get off to a quick start. They have a mix. They've got some younger players, older players. McEntee, a veteran on this team and one of the best in Suffolk County. Amato, also the midfielder, generates a lot in that midfield. And Kevin, again, some youngsters on this team. They start an 8th grader. They got a freshman in the net. So this team has an array of different levels of grades. We'll see how they all blend together, but a team that's starting to gel.
We spoke to both coaches this week, but let's start with the keys to the game from Pat-Med head coach Pat Cleary. And Rob, he's looking for some good production early in this season for this team.
Yeah, and I think he wants to start everything with what a coach does. Bring the right attitude. Try to get everybody together, max effort out of his players, and show consistency early in the year. That's all coaching. He's developing a team identity, and it all starts here on the field. We flip it over to the East Islip side. He said their defense needs to stay moving the entire time. The 90-second shot clock is in play. So this is the team that likes to pace themselves, but they have to adjust. And, Kevin, something everybody's got to adjust to now with the 90-second shot clock, the pace of play. You need to play fast, but you got to be smart. You can't make quick decisions that are going to cost you. You got to stay focused within the time that you're allowed.
Well, it's going to have to be up to the starting lineups here to set the tone early. And for Pat Med in their back end, the defensive group, it's Madison Eddington, Sophia Fox, Kaylee Carita, and Kellen Berard on that backside, trying to prevent East Islip from getting ahead quick in that 90-second shot clock. And in the midfield for Pat Med, it's going to be Olivia Liddell, Addison Rulin, and Isabella Peterson. And up front, Alexa Schiller, Lily Durkin, Gianna Bavacqua, and Erin Lake man the front. And for these girls to get in and try and adjust to that 90-second shot clock, it takes the entire group, right, both ends of the field, to make that happen.
Yeah, it's going to be communication from the sidelines, but more importantly, communication on the field, Kevin. And again, you've got a team that's got some veteran leadership on both sides. So we'll get to these goalkeepers now and some studs on both sides.
Haley Stratton for Pat Med, 131 saves in 2024. It's fourth most in Suffolk. Absolutely dominated last season. Comes back this year, junior year, trying to perform at a high level, and they're going to need her today in order to get the win.
Yeah, and a college commit to UNC Charlotte, so she's got some big things ahead of her as well.
And for the head coach of Pat Med, it's going to be Pat Cleary in his second year. He's a former player, played in high school at Patchogue, played in college at Lincoln Memorial, now back for year two to coach this team. And we saw his keys, but he's definitely looking for this team early on in the season to just bring the attitude and get themselves right mentally.
Yeah, and that's the guy it all starts with right there. Pat Cleary, you see him clapping his hands, trying to get his team pumped up. Everything that he's looking for starts with him and his staff. It's going to be, again, that positive attitude. Keep your head in the game. Coach Cleary ready to take it on against a veteran coach on the other side, Steve Levy. We'll get to him shortly.
His group going out there to start the game for East Islip. Coach Levy sends on the defensive end Kendall Canfora, Emerson Black, Natalie Mendelia. In the midfield, it's Carly Amato, McKenna Corcoran, Emily McEntee, and Anna Koloff. Up front for the Redmen, it's going to be Avery Bowden, Kira Block, Caitlin Sheridan, and Heather Heffernan. And they're all trying to help one person, and that's their goalie, Teresa Codaspodi, who Coach has high praise for, Rob.
Oh, yeah. I asked you before the game if it was official. He says top 3 goalie in the country at her age. Last year, 4th in Suffolk County in saves. And I had to clarify this with you as an 8th grader. That's a tremendous, tremendous way to start your career on a varsity team. And today, she's going to get out there between the pipes and lead this team as a freshman. High hopes for her and this entire team in front of her.
And the coach who gave her that praise is Steve Levy, 17th year now with the East Islip girls team at the helm, and it's his 34th year coaching overall, so you kind of alluded to it, but a tale of two different paths here with these two coaches. One guy who's been in the game forever, and another guy just trying to get his rep here in Suffolk County.
Yeah, you said it, Kevin. You're making me feel old when you say a guy that's in the game forever. But he's got a decade on me. I'm coaching 25 years, and Coach Levy out there, 34 years. That brings a certain calm, a certain type of experience that you can't get out of any type of coach unless they've been doing it that long. And that's kind of his attitude. He's been here. He knows what to do. These girls are going to look up to and respect his years of sage and wisdom. And there's Coach Levy in the circle wearing his sunglasses on this bright day.
And both teams taking those huddles pregame here, just trying to get the mood right, get themselves going on this Saturday morning. Beautiful weather today, and it feels like spring is finally here. The spring sports are going, and the weather is here to match it. A lot of good energy for this game, I think, not only for the fans that are walking in, the crowd that's arriving, but also for the girls trying to get your season off on the right foot. You wait all year, you train in the winter, and now you get here. Finally, time and a good matchup. These two teams both, I think, are a little bit under the radar, but they've gotten some credit this offseason and this preseason as teams who could compete. And they both want to show that early in the season. So mentally, how do you just get the girls right? Young group of players, how do you get them right for this season? Try and keep it, the perspective small, nearsighted, focus on the game today, and that will help you be better the entire season.
Yeah, Kev, I think you just said it. It's, everything's got to be in small bites. Every minute, every half of the game, the entire season. This is going to kickstart, the energy that you're going to bring. the other part is you got to make sure that these girls understand that no matter what goes on in this game, there's another one coming up soon. There's a practice tomorrow. Try to live in the moment. Do the best you can in the moments. Again, the shot clock might play a role in this thing, but just try to stay to the basics, establish yourself early. There's a feeling out process at the beginning of the game. And then as the game moves on, they take their individual identities and try to capitalize.
I think it's interesting speaking with Steve Levy about how he's adjusting to the 90-second shot clock because, as we just mentioned, this is a guy who's been coaching 34 years, 17 years with this same program, and he's trying to now figure out how to take his slow style of offense, win games that are low scoring, control the possession. You try to take that style, and you now have to do that, but also pair it with some more aggression and some more up-tempo play, and once you get possession, it's 90 seconds to score, and you can look at that both ways. 90 seconds in some situations, not a lot of time. You wish you had more, but 90 seconds is something that you still can be patient with and relax, and he wanted to really push that message to his team today, so I'm curious to see how they come out and actually execute that.
And it's all going to start very shortly as the teams take the field, and absolutely. Both teams, though, making those adjustments, and on a personal level, and I discussed this with you ahead of time, I'm happy about it so that when there's some leads at the end, they're not just passing around. We're going to see some continued attacks.
Heading out there for the opening face-off for each of these teams. For Pat Med, it's going to be Olivia Liddell, and for East Islip, it's going to be Anna Koloff. And with that shot clock and just the nature of the game with Lacrosse, so important to get that first possession. These two girls will be trying to do it today and get their teams off on the right foot. Liddell and Amato, your players to watch here offensively. We'll see if either of them get a shot at the opening possession. Two teams with a good mix of young and returning veteran players. And the opening draw here will go the way of East Islip. Quick rush now. First opportunity, and in. A little bit of a misdirection bouncer. And right away, guess the 90-second shot clock wasn't much of an issue.
No, I don't think you need a 90-second anything. I mean, that was absolutely incredible effort there by Carly Amato, who just turned the jets on, and what looked like she was going to maybe pass. She gets inside the arc, takes the first shot, and absolutely no answer there from Haley Stratton, who I don't even think she thought it went in. Caught her up on the right side, right stick side.
It didn't look like a very clean attempt to the far post. Maybe got misdirected, maybe got the ground first. And you're right, Haley Stratton, who is one of the best goaltenders on the island, was not ready for that. Didn't think it went in. And just a quick one off the rip there for Carly Amato. Gets East Islip on the board, and they have the early lead. And Pat Med will have second possession here.
But again, it goes to show you that athleticism out of Amato. I mean, she just went end to end. I'm a midfield to end right off the face-off. Quick strike and a great way for them to pace their season.
Now trying to set something up is Pat Med looking to respond. As they move it around the arc right to left. Now charging, trying to enter. Couldn't. Good defense there from East Islip, not allowing any penetration. But Pat Med resets things on that left wing. Lily Durkin had it. And now up top, Addison Ruland.
Yeah, playing the zone very well, getting in the way of that shot. You know, East Islip wished they could have gained possession on that as Pat Med works the arc.
Now behind the crease. Rounding the back. Ruland has it, enters in front, and there's a nice response with the finish was as Isabella Peterson, even at 1 with 10:50 to play in the first.
Yeah, you got to like the way they set that up. I mean, it all started with Alexis Schiller working out of that X position behind the crease, and you can see she gets that pass out in front, and then Ruland tosses it over the top. And just like that, we're tied. I mean, this is a quick strike. I don't know that both teams expected this to happen today. So much for the feeling out process.
Yeah, both teams off to a quick start, I think. The East Islip defense showed some things there also that they are probably happy with. It just lasted a while, and that's where defensively 90 seconds could be a long time for a defense to have to hold up. And East Islip will have possession here and charging down the goal scorer, Carly Amato, maybe looking for another. Here's the opportunity, and she has it. Blow for blow early here in East Islip between the Raiders and Redmond.
Don't go to the bathroom, folks. It's like a Mike Tyson fight with Amato. She doesn't last too long on the field. She didn't even need to cradle that ball. Just look at her. The speed. She breaks through 2 defenders, just a straight bull dodge through. And then the finish, 2-1.
Of course, Amato, as we mentioned, 23 points last season. That was as a sophomore, so now as a junior looking to take the next step, and looks like she's taking the next leap here early. 2 goals right away.
And only a junior. I mean, that's an investment. You got an 11th grader. You got another year at Carly Amato, and so far establishing herself as a star early in this one.
Coach told me she's already committed to UMass as well, so when you can get a junior with that type of pedigree, obviously going to be a good thing for your program. Here's another good rush from East Islip. Opportunity, and count another, as they are doing everything right here with that goal. I believe Avery Bowden, it was. Great start here for the Redmond.
Yeah, they are just, and it's the speed. I mean, they are pacing this game. A really nice pass there by Kiera Block. And then the finish between the legs, Avery Bowden finds it right through the wickets, 3-1 East Islip, and the Redmond just off to a torrid start.
Now it brings up an important draw for Olivia Liddell. So much for Coach Levy telling us he likes to play a slow offense out there with this team.
You read my mind. You read my mind, Kevin. I mean, honestly, Steve Levy saying, hey, we're worried about the shot clock. We typically play slow, play fast, play smart. I mean, I don't think they even have to play that smart right now with the athleticism. They're just burning through everything.
There's Amato with it. Definitely want to get the ball out of her stick. East Islip moving it around the back. Now back up front, Amato looking for something now, a whistle.
Not quite sure what the call is on the field, but it's going to be a free possession here for Amato.
Dangerous already with 2 goals and a 3-1 lead for East Islip. Amato, the opportunity, couldn't get it off. And an easy save for Stratton. That might be able to get Haley Stratton a little bit of a confidence boost, just getting an easy one such as that.
Yeah, her first save of the game on 4 shots.
Ruland, good entry pass right in front of the crease, and a response from Pat Med. The goals plentiful here. Really nice pass on the entry. And a good finish, I believe, there by Alexa Schiller.
It was Alexa Schiller, and you look at how she just does a nice little roll dodge, gets through, splits a defense, and then up on the right stick side. And you can see Coda Spody just kind of knowing that one got past her. She didn't have a shot on that one. Tough play there for Stratton.
Big face-off here in a 3-2 game, and it's just a barn burner early.
Yeah, you got Amato with 2 goals already, and 3-2, and there's 9:22 still remaining.
Amato has possession again. We're going to move it up that left wing. Now settling and entering it back to the middle. Behind the crease now with one of our goal scorers, Avery Bowden.
Bowden does a nice job working out of that Y. She just really knows how to play behind the net.
Pass in front, couldn't go anywhere, and we get a whistle. Good defense in front from Pat Med, but another one of these free possessions.
Yeah, it's going to be Emily McEntee. Pretty spin move she had there, too. Just couldn't get the shot off because she was interfered with, and now the free possession.
McEntee, their point leader, out of the returners. She's got a chance here, and this is wide. Heading to the corner is Bowden. She scoops it up. And now moving it with Block. Behind the net, McEntee again. Dangerous player. Resets things. Heffernan has it. Cradles and swings it back to McEntee. And that's going to get a whistle there. Some contact by Isabella Peterson. So McEntee gets another free look.
Yeah, it's a no-no by Peterson. Hitting her in the back, it was an obvious foul.
Good entry, but couldn't corral it. So Pat Med will have it with their goalie and pushing it upfield. Pass not completed. And a good scoop. And now push up the field, up the right wing for East Islip. East Islip controlling time possession. Big collision there. 3 bodies down. Play continues, but now a whistle.
It's a good job by the official there, recognizing that right away. You saw the 3 girls collide, completely incidental. And then the official right away just not even keeping his eyes up his field as his partners picked it up. Here you can take a look. And she got hit by her own player there on the way down.
Yeah, Olivia Liddell caught the blunt of that hit and that collision. Just 3 players trying to converge on a ball, and it happens.
And the initial shot, not too bad. It was the follow-through. But everybody, no worse for the wear. And, again, I got to tip your hat to the official for paying attention to what was going on there and stopping the play, especially with a headshot.
And you see Liddell walk off under her own power, now grabbing some water over at the sideline.
Carly Amato getting a break on the East Islip side.
Much deserved. 2 early goals here.
And Gianna DeSantis checking in there for East Islip, wearing number 6. DeSantis just a freshman.
One of few freshmen on this team. You have Aubrey Jones, of course, Gianna DeSantis, Stephanie Kalinowski, and the goaltender, Teresa Cotaspoti. So a nice core there moving forward for East Islip.
And that's what you got to like about this team. Balanced as far as ages. We discussed it early on, but you've got the win now players. You've got players that are learning the system. And one of the things that we're seeing, at least I could tell you from the Nassau County side, I believe it's through all of New York State, but a lot of these spring sports are suffering from the amount of girls that are starting to play. You see programs folding on the girls, JV lacrosse and JV softball. So you see a lot of underclassmen making these varsity teams out of almost a necessity for players. But, lacrosse still thriving on the island for the most part, and a lot of college commits on this field today. But the involvement in spring sports declining all throughout New York State and the island. The officials, what are they doing?
Yeah, we're waiting for play to resume here. I'm trying to figure out what is going on. But with the ball waiting is Addison Ruland for Pat Med. And now I believe we get ready as you see her take position. Quick call out by the official. Couldn't quite make out what he said. Now he puts the arm up, blows the whistle, and we resume after that collision. And another whistle soon after, but play resumes. And Ruland, good carry there into the zone. Takes it all the way across the field, and now Pat Med's in business, down just a goal. Just over 7 minutes to play in this first. Out in front, collision, no whistle, and the shot never got off. So taking it now and retreating back to her goaltender. That was Kendall Canfora, and now they move it back to the right wing. Pat Med playing a little more aggressive up the field here. Good stretch pass, though, is complete, and that puts EI in business. A rush from Koloff, sends it in front, shot, great save. Made there by Stratton. Getting it right back was Amato, and another save by Stratton. How about that sequence?
There you go. You're starting to see what she can do. Stratton with some great stick work there, making 2 saves. She's now got 3, 2 consecutive, and keeping East Islip off the board.
Now another great run by Ruland. Tries to go for the juke, but lost her footing. She was in line for a clear path to the goal, but another body hits the floor. It's getting physical on that end of the field.
It certainly is. I was going to say it. I mean, a pretty Z dodge there. She tripped herself up, but a lot of physicality down low out of this East Islip defense. And clean for the most part, where on the Pat Med side, when it gets physical, it seems to lead to a free possession.
And that will be the case here for Carly Amato, who just received a bump that's going to get a whistle. And I think you can see early Amato and McEntee both getting bumps there. You can see what they do to a defender mentally, just trying to do anything to stop them leads to easy whistles.
Yeah, that's it. Trying to slow them down is not easy, and the only way to do it is to get in the way, but sometimes getting in the way involves contact.
Good movement here. Bowden has it. Swings it around. East Islip taking their time. Still 45 seconds on the clock to shoot, so pass in front, trying to go backwards with the shot, but never got it off. That was Heather Heffernan with it. Now Stratton will hold and settle down. Looking for an outlet, and it just goes the easy way. Now moving it upfield, Pat Med looking for the tying goal here early. Good run up the sideline for Sophia Fox. And now they move it back behind and losing it out of bounds. And it'll go to East Islip. Tough turnover there for Pat Med.
It is tough, but again, they're doing a much better job defensively, obviously in front of their keeper, Haley Stratton. But on that last play, Kellen Berard doing some really nice defensive work. So they're starting to settle in. They just got to try to limit the contact, and they'll be all right.
A pass that wasn't intended to go that way, but it worked out. And now Amato brings it up. Good movement out in front. Bowden has it. Centers it. Amato couldn't hold on. Pass was a bit high. But East Islip stays with it. Heather Heffernan has it and slows things down.
And again, a good job by Pat Med trying to force those shots to the outside, slowing down that offense, and not an easy thing to do, but they're starting to figure it out. Good rides.
Bowden, great pass in front. Amato tried to flick it quick, but it got taken away. Good defense there. Great recovery, and now they'll slow things down as the ball is with Stratton.
Yeah, you don't want to say they figured Amato out, but they've certainly figured out how to slow her down.
I'm sure they were not expecting that barrage of goals right away from her and the quick rush that East Islip played. But Pat Met has adjusted nicely. Now that they're in business, Addison Rulin has it. She's been great at getting them in position so far today, but now it's trying to put the finishing pieces on these possessions. Bevacqua had it. Gives it away and moved around to Liddell. Now right back up top to Ruland. Moving around with Isabella Peterson and Lily Durkin. Durkin now has it again. Now Peterson. Durkin has it. Little pitch and catch there with Peterson. Addison Rulin has it once again. Tries the entry, but it's taken away. At some point, they had to try something, and East Islip was ready for it. Now they move the other way quick. Up the sideline, DeSantis switches to her left and throws the pass to Heffernan. East Islip controlling possession once again here. Amato has it.
It's a much different offense, too, when they're setting up the perimeter as opposed to just coming with those fast breaks. Pat Met, a very good defensive team and starting to settle in.
Almost a chance there, but good defense took it away. DeSantis had it, now swings it up top. Once again to the stick of Heffernan. Heffernan tries to throw the pass it just towards the crease, but taken away. And Pat Med, their defense has really turned on here. You watch the first 2 minutes of this game, and you would have thought one team's much better than the other. Absolutely not the case. Both of these teams now meeting each other.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to tip my hat to Kellen Berard. She did a great job, again, just riding people off of those lanes for shots. And then Kaylee Carrito over there, the one intercepting the ball and getting that play up the field for Pat Med. We don't get to talk about defenders too much, but Pat Med doing a heck of a job now settling in with Berard and Carrito back there.
Liddell has it, and now moves it to Ruland. Moving around that right side. They're in a lot of trouble penetrating this East Islip zone defensively. This group has been great. And in the middle there, you see Emerson Black patrolling, had an interception earlier. Here's an entry, though, for Pat Med and a whistle before the shot. So a tough break there for the Raiders. And contact actually helps East Islip.
It does. Isabella Peterson, right after she got that shot and they hit the twine, she just threw her hands up. Like, what happened?
That's a tough feeling as a player, but now Peterson has a chance to do it again on the free opportunity, and she does. Going bar down there, up high. And Peterson evens things up with 46 seconds to go in the first.
Yeah, she said, you got me once. I'm going to get that one back. And a really nice job. You can take a look here in the free position, 4 steps, and then just a laser beam over the left stick. And just like that, we are tied at 3 with 46.9 seconds remaining. And that torrid pace slowed down, and it seems like since the slowdown has happened, Kevin, the Raiders starting to really establish themselves as a team. You're starting to see their identity better defensively, moving the ball up. They're very, very, I guess, they're just slowing it down, very methodical on offense, and it's paying off.
They're doing a great job, and still it's been tough to crack that zone that East Islip's playing, but both of these defenses are providing similar problems for the opposing offenses. The draw is won by East Islip. Let's see if they can get something going in these final 40 seconds here. Koloff has it, now over to Amato. Amato's pass almost taken away, but settled down with the Redmond. 25 on the clock. Looking to get something going. Amato calling for the ball, but won't get it. Now up top, it's McEntee. 13 seconds on the clock. Good pass there, but great job closing it off. McEntee has it again. 7 seconds. Sending one towards goal, but not going to go, and now the clock ticks down on the first as Stratton handles it. Both teams head to the sideline, and that was a great start to this game.
Yeah, you saw it. I mean, just keeping them on the heels, that East Islip offense, but Pat Med settling in, and we are knotted up at 3 after the first 12 minutes.
And with a fresh 12 on in a 3-3 game, you don't want to go anywhere here, as we'll be back after this break on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
Great game here through the first 12 minutes. I'm Kevin Bunk. We appreciate you joining us this morning on the Varsity Media Sports Network for a great afternoon of spring sports. And we have a tie game now, 3-3 your score once again. A lot of action early in that, especially from Carly Amato on East Islip. She had 2 goals, a couple of more attempts, UMass commit. Really talented player, and you see East Islip, the way that they were running the field there early on, showing great confidence in their athleticism. But Pat Med definitely matched it on both ends. Defensively, they had a pair of interceptions. Madison Ennington and Kellen Berard were both able to take away a few opportunities. So we have a fresh 12 on the clock here, and my partner Rob Anderson, what is
Out of breath. Sorry.
doing errands during
Running errands.
doing errands during our intermission here.
Just let everybody know. Number 7 is Reese Holiday. She's got a lot of minutes, but she's not on the roster. So I'm sorry,
Rob
Kev.
was able to just correct that, so we're good now. But Rob, those first 12 minutes, back and forth, felt very even though by the end of it. What does Pat Med, who went down early, have to do to start better here in these 12?
I think how they ended is exactly what they've got to do. You got a team in East Islip that came out to a torrid start using their speed, athleticism, keeping Pat Med on their heels, and just, bringing it to them. I don't think Pat Med was ready for the attack, but once they settled in, it almost seems like that methodical play of Pat Med is starting to dictate the pace. And even though East Islip's still getting those really fast breaks in, they're not setting anything up because Pat Med's zone defense, their ability to get physical and ride, phenomenal.
And I think you look back at Coach Cleary's keys to the game for Pat Med. He wants them to start this season consistent. He wants them to play with great effort. And that opening possession right off the draw, it just felt a little disoriented on the side of Pat Med. So they all come together, they regroup. And I think that's actually a really impressive thing for a young team in their start of a season to be able to adjust so quickly on a dime in a game early in the season. They haven't played together. Every year it's a new group. They haven't played together very long. And for them to come together here along with the coaching staff and be able to adjust quick and finish strong, end up with a tie game. After those first 2 minutes, if you told them this game would be tied after the first 12, they would have been thrilled about that, and that's where they are. So an exciting second 12 minutes here coming up for Pat Med, I think, with that tie game.
And the other luxury that Coach Cleary has that he told us is that this is a team, and this might help with the adjustments, over a 99 average in school. Most of them are honor society and AP kids. So when you have bright kids, it makes a huge difference.
So with the ball moving right to left is Pat Med wearing their road blacks. And moving left to right for the next 12 is going to be East Islip in their home reds here from Boomer Esiason Stadium. Pat Med looking to get their first lead with possession here. Olivia Liddell swinging it around. Isabella Peterson, who had a goal. Madison Rulin now has it. She enters, great pass in front, and a nice shot going through the 5-hole there. Bouncing it low. Great finish off of a great feed. That was Olivia Liddell catching it and standing tall in the middle.
You said it, and that's hand-eye coordination. You take a look here. That pass right through the middle to Liddell, and she just bounces one in. But what great vision by Rulin to find her and find her stick. Her stick was behind her. Liddell pulling it down, and a beautiful goal there. And now the first lead of the game here for the Raiders.
That's got to be a great feeling. Now 3 unanswered goals for Pat Med on the road early in their season. And now back to take the draw is Olivia Liddell after scoring her first of the game. Not going to be able to handle it. Madison Ruland almost had it. So East Islip now is going to go the other way, looking to respond and bring this game back to even. McEntee has it, moving to that left wing. Kira Block sends it down under the net. And they swing it around with Heffernan. Back behind the net. Not really letting her get topside. She tried to, but couldn't.
And can't discount the play of Stratton, too, in net. She's made some fantastic saves. And now that Pat Med's limiting the angles on the shots, it just sets her up for more success.
Heffernan has it, trying to make a move. That shot's going to ring off post. The rebound attempt ends up wide where Stratton handles it.
It's a goalie's best friend right there. That sound is ringing the doorbell to happiness. Emily McEntee fires one, but just misses the net and just misses tying this thing up.
Liddell has it fresh off a goal scored on their last possession. Good pass here handled. And after a quick bobble by Sophia Fox, now she moves it up to Lily Durkin, and now one more stretched up the sideline. It was Reese Holiday, and now swung over the left corner Pat Med's in business with a 1-goal lead right now, looking to extend that. Liddell has it. Retreats a bit.
Like good.
Resets her team here.
They're really bad. Just
surveying and finding to the left Lily Durkin. Durkin sends it behind the crease. One more out in front. Spinning and scoring. Great goal. Olivia Liddell follows up last possession's goal with an even better one this time.
And it started with Alexa Schiller. Nobody contested her out of that wide position. And then she made the pass to Liddell, who connects with her second consecutive goal. We'll get another look. Again, that pass out in front. Liddell, a roll dodge and over the top. Does it get better than that, Kev? I mean, that is just pure strength and athleticism right there out of Olivia Liddell.
Great goal, the follow-up. Terrific hand-eye coordination prior, showing you what she can do when she gets in close proximity. And obviously a great natural feel for her location and good footwork on both. Now a 2-goal lead for Pat Med, 5-3 with 9:23 remaining.
And they did a good job putting pressure on her down low and near the crease, but you can't leave Schiller wide open to make that pass. There was no pressure on Schiller, no pressure in the backfield at all. So we'll see if they can make those adjustments. You can't let Pat Med just roam behind the crease.
There's a good run for EI as Gianna DeSantis is into the game and setting her team up here in the offensive end. Moving it around and now up top for Carly Amato. To Bowden, who's been very effective in this game. Good entry. McEntee shot, and she responds. Finally, after 4 unanswered, East Islip back on the board. Great goal there from McEntee, and good movement from East Islip the entire possession.
Yeah, Emily McEntee decides, I'm going to hit a bouncer on this one. We'll take a look at it here. I'm not going to hit the pipe this time. A nice shot through traffic. Attempted the kick save, but past Stratton on the left-hand side. And I'm sure McEntee relieved that she didn't hear the ping of the pipe this time.
She didn't capitalize on that first great opportunity last time, but you know if she got a second, she wasn't going to let it go by without a goal. 8:45 to play in the second.
Pat Med making a substitution as Elizabeth Tiernan, number 2. The sophomore Fred jumps in the game.
Every draw feels bigger now after each goal goes by, keeping this game close, back and forth. Possession is one for Pat Med. With it, it's Lily Durkin now. With time, move things around. Addison Ruland and Olivia Liddell, who have been great catalysts playing up top there. Dangerous pairing. Liddell and Durkin having a catch there on that left wing. And now move back to Durkin. So motion begins for Pat Med. Durkin settles down and now placing her in that spot. They're replacing each other for a moment there. Was Liddell and Durkin, but now back to Ruland. Good entry pass, not going to be handled though. Great defense for East Islip. A big stop there for the Redmen, and they'll move up the other way now.
Dakota Spody with a big pass to Heather Heffernan there, but again, Islip just kind of wearing them out. They gave Pat Med a lot of time to set up, not a lot of pressure when they're working that perimeter.
Pat Med moves quickly the other way, and I feel that this game is kind of flipped in possession now. Ironically, the team moving right to left has controlled possession in this game. Tale of 2 different quarters.
You see definitely a much different Pat Med team once they settled in. They got caught off guard early, but those 4 unanswered goals, giving them a little moxie, and they're really starting to set things up. I'd like to see East Islip maybe start pressuring the ball handler a little bit more. They're getting a lot of space to set up.
Behind the net now, looking to make something happen. Walking in, tough angle, and a strong finish. How about that coming from behind the net? And finishing there, excuse me while I try to make out the number.
It's Alexa Schiller.
Alexa Schiller, yes.
Yep.
Who's having a great game here.
Yeah, and I mean, take a look again. Nobody's there. She's playing out of that wide position. She just comes right across the crease and gets an easy path to the net. They've got to keep an eye on her because they're giving her way too much space. She set up that last goal to Liddell, a beautiful pass out of that position. This time she looked for the pass, didn't need it, just beeline for the crease, and boom. She's got a goal and an assist quickly, her second goal of the game.
Islip definitely going to need to start pressuring more. You're right. They're giving a lot of freedom to the ball carriers.
And especially Schiller. Like, she's just set up in that spot saying, I own it. Like, no, I can set up a picnic here. No one's challenging me. And you got to worry, like, is it fatigue? Like, what's going on as far as the strategy? But they got to keep an eye on her as Pat Med mounts another attack.
Pat Med now with a 2-goal lead, 6-4 with 6.5 minutes to play in the second. Lily Durkin has it, and this pairing has been great. Really, the trio of Durkin, Ruland, and Peterson have been responsible for a lot of the chaos calls on this offensive side. With it is Ruland. Now back over to Durkin. She switches from right to left, makes the pass to Peterson. Good spin. Gets some contact, but play on. Durkin has it. Tries to put it towards goal. Stopped, and now a nice shot, but a save and a whistle. Good save there, though. And it may not have even counted, but Teresa Codespoti hasn't had too many opportunities to make saves in this game. Pat Med, a lot of movement now. A free opportunity will result in a save, and it ends up a long rebound. Back to Pat Med, right back in front, and a finish. Unbelievable sequence. Addison Ruland, the finisher, after not being able to convert the free opportunity there. And Pat Med extends their lead.
That was incredible. I mean, what was incredible about it is right off the shot, she's on the floor, and then you get the pass. She just fires it over the top. But, you know, the whole sequence was she took that, she had the free possession, takes the shot, lands on her belly, and then gets back up, spins into the arc, and bam, 1, 2, 3, right into the net there. Great athletic play. And Pat Med now starting to really establish the type of offense they want. Now, East Islip, we know they're athletic. We saw them get off to this great start. They might have to create a different pace in the transition to get that offense going, because right now it's all Pat Med after the early attack.
And a lot of times on those free possessions, when you get saved on another Pat Med possession here with Ruland, but you can see a player in Ruland's spot oftentimes on the ground, take their time to get up after the save, thinking possession's going the other way, and she didn't do that. Plays right through, 100% effort, and she gets rewarded for it.
Yeah, she recognized that her team got possession and just set herself right back up. Tip your hat there to the effort by Ruland.
7-4 now the score. Ruland has it back with Durkin.
How about Codespoti? You saw her getting the she just ran out to block a pass to Schiller, left her net open.
Yep.
She knows Schiller needs a little more coverage.
Wonder if that's something that's being spoken about right now among this defense. Here is Schiller with it. Finally, some pressure on Schiller.
A couple of parents.
So she'll just get it back. Peterson now out in front, wide open, and an easy goal going low sidearm. Liliana Durkin buries it. And now that is just a product of them having to play Schiller out. Leaves the front of the net wide open.
Yeah, you said it. That's an adjustment you try to make, and here's a look. And just look at Durkin. She changes sight lines, dekes high, goes low, easy goal, wide open out in front. And you said it, Kevin. You have to make the adjustment because if you leave Schiller open, she's just going to toy with you on the outside, start to press her, and you compromise the front, and Durkin gets the space. Tells you how good this Raider offense is and how dynamic they can be. And East Islip's playing hard. I mean, they're doing what they can right now. Just Pat Med has completely got this thing working. We got a timeout.
8-4 your score, 5:08 to play here in the second. And you can see some of our upcoming sportscasts here on Varsity Media. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. You can go youtube.com/Varsity Media for it. But some great games here. Rontaw, East Islip. I'll be on Bayport, Blue Point, West Islip on Tuesday. That'll be a battle. Cold Spring Harbor, Manhasset. That's a great way to finish out March here on Varsity Media with some big matchups. And then you go into April. It's going to be full swing ahead for this season.
Yeah, look at all over the place, right? You start April, you're in Suffolk, then you're in the Catholics, then you're in Nassau. So Varsity Media bringing it to you everywhere on this island.
Whole lot of everything here on Varsity Media, and most of the games are like the one we've seen today, really good quality. Both teams going at it early in the season here. Feels more like the energy from the players brings that early May excitement. But right now, for East Islip, they're trying to do what worked earlier, but they're having trouble on the draws, and it feels like they're playing uphill now the entire game.
Yeah, I think what you pointed out is really important. They are having trouble on the draws, and you can see, Coach Levy, we got his huddle there, and he's just going to collect the troops. They're in a hole right now. I mean, it's 8-4, 5 minutes remaining in the half, and, they're in trouble right now. You've got to figure out how to play that zone without compromising areas in the offensive zone. Coach Levy's going to want them to find what was working early on. The problem is, Kevin, you can't maintain that pace throughout an entire game, one. And two, when you start to move the ball too quickly against a Pat Med team that knows how to settle it down, you're going to create holes, and they're going to take advantage because they are a veteran team and obviously, again, on paper, a really bright team. AP and honor classes, over a 99 average as a team. I mean, where were they recruiting from? It's incredible.
And when you look at the draws, it's got nothing to do really with lack of a good job from East Islip, but on the Pat Med side, you have Olivia Liddell in that circle who is going to play at Stony Brook the next level. We know that that's a high-quality player. If that's the case for your future, obviously she's very smart, a part of this team that everybody – I mean, I asked Coach, who are your academic standouts? And he goes, I'd have to list the entire team.
Yeah.
There's nobody on this squad lacking. So Pat Med's really got it together. And Liddell, it all starts in the face-off circle there, doing a great job. Also has 2 goals today, all over the field, dominating. She's been one of the real catalysts for this stretch of pure control by Pat Med.
And we'll see here if Anna Koloff, wearing number 15, the sophomore, can try to win this one.
Big one for her, and great experience for Koloff nonetheless, playing a player the caliber of Liddell in that circle and losing it there. East Islip had it for a moment, but quickly it's lost and recovered. And Addison Ruland has just been pushing the agenda all game offensively, doing a great job, the midfielder, of getting in the zone.
She just bullied that ball right out of Heffernan's stick. Heffernan got it, and it was like, okay, East Islip, big, important draw after the timeout, and then boom, back the other way. Ruland, another one we got to keep an eye on. She's just a stud, strong player.
Yep. A quick push towards the crease, but the ball was lost and promptly scooped up. So Coda Spoti able to handle that, the freshman, but now she's having some trouble. Turns it over. It's going to be a free look and an easy goal. Great extra pass. Schiller is the one who finishes it, and Coda Spoti just had no outlet there. Had to try something. Unfortunately, ends in turnover. Now a 9-4 game.
Yeah, Durkin collects that turnover, had a path to the net, but said, you know what? I think it's time to get Alexis Schiller her hat trick. And sure enough, Schiller pops in number 3. She has been a part of, it seems like, every single goal, doing it every which way. Durkin says, hey, I'm going to find my teammate wide open. Boom. And unfortunately, the turnover by Coda Spoti, she didn't have a chance on that save.
And Durkin showing off a real maturity, I think, on that, because how many times in any level of sports will you see a player with the fast break, couple defenders near the back, maybe you can get to the net, maybe not, but most of the time a player is taking that all the way, makes the extra pass. Schiller was ready for it. And now moving the other way again, Pat Med, these East Islip defenders can't catch a break.
I wasn't that mature as a sophomore. I would have been selfish and gone right to the net. But the smart move there. And that shows you, again, a team. They work as a team. It's not one person trying to do everything out there. So a great job by Coach Cleary.
Avakwa had it now. Moves it over to Peterson. A shot on is lined up just wide, but Schiller recovered it. And you see Codis Botti does have to play a little defense here with motion in front of the net. With the ball is Addison Ruland. Got a little bit of a check, so she'll get a free possession here. And then quickly taken away. She didn't know there was a defender behind her. And now trying to just run it upfield, but turning it over was Aubrey Jones. Right back to Pat Med and scoring off the turnover. Addison Ruland unassisted. The 10th goal of this game for the Raiders. 3:06 to play here from East Islip High School.
Now, I don't know if I'm 100% correct because that play turned over quick, but it looked like there was like a 10-man ride going on that was just unsuccessful. And you could see the turnover here. And Ruland just, again, I mean this in a good way. She just bullies her way to everything. Defensively, getting the turnovers, what she does in transition, getting to the net. Another stud there. Liddell and Ruland just dominate the middle of that field. And a tough break again for Codis Botti. She's doing everything she can back there. And you got to wonder, too, is the freshman starting to do too much? Because she's coming out of the net to play some defensive positions. You can't do everything back there.
Big face-off here. East Islip needs a win. Liddell is in there. And it pops up, and Liddell is going to get that one. But it's on the ground rolling. It's finally scooped up by Sophia Fox. And now right back up for Liddell. Liddell making up a nice duo on this left side here with Lily Durkin. Two players that Coach spoke very highly of. And they've put East Islip in some really tough spots today.
You know, it's very early. 14 goals up on the board, which is a massive amount already in the first half. But if Pat Med continues this, I'm sure we're going to start seeing some other players getting some time out there. And
so we're going to whistle. The entry pass took down Durkin. Some incidental contact there. Trying to get the ball was Koloff. And now Durkin gets the free possession. And a chance. Immediate pass. And a quick score. Hitting the deck, going through contact was Olivia Liddell. Firing on all cylinders is this Pat Med offense. And there's still a minute 57 to play in the second.
yeah, Liddell joins the hat trick team here, and you can see that Durkin gets that ball down. Liddell just absolutely drives towards the net, and even though she got knocked down, manages to find the back. So she's got a hat trick now. 3 for Liddell, 3 for Schiller. I believe Ruland, you got 2 for Ruland?
2 for Ruland, yep.
So goal scorers coming in droves right now. We'll see if they start to spread it out again. I'd imagine at some point we're going to see some of the bench players coming in for Pat Med. Give the players a blow. Give them some time. The guys off the bench some time. Ladies off the bench some time. But 11-4, a pretty dominant lead now since that opener where it looked like East Islip was going to control this.
And all East Islip might need is that one possession to get their offense back flowing, get their offense the ball back, because their attackers have played almost no lacrosse over these last 10 minutes, really struggling to get the ball to that end. Their defense playing with high effort and showing good signs, but they're just struggling. Pat Med throwing a lot at them, really talented group. East Islip really trying for this one here, but still couldn't come away with it. Now moving up, Sophia Fox has it up the right wing. She'll slow it down. And
that's a part of the game, sorry, Kev, that's really killing the turnovers. Like, even when you get possession, it seems like they're quick, and Pat Med's all over them on the turnovers.
Durkin has it. Now to the dangerous Addison Ruland. Back to Durkin, and she takes her time. Gets it up top to Liddell. Who swings it back over to Ruland. Reese Holiday has it on that right wing. Now they swing it back across the left to Durkin. 40 on the shot clock. Peterson had it, then swung it over. Now an entry pass, Ruland rounding the crease, bounces it, a good opportunity, but it goes wide. And with it now, taking it from out of bounds, is Bowden. Liddell off the pass, and she rounds and gives back down left side. Getting involved in this possession, Isabella Peterson, who's had some nice moments so far today. Good pass there for Durkin.
So Coda Spody go out and cover Schiller again, too? Look, she's
Shot
like...
clock about to expire here. And it does. I think that the confusion there for Pat Med and for myself for a moment was that shot wide, touch nothing.
Right.
So they think that they got a fresh 90. You don't there, and the clock winding down on this quarter.
They're going to add 2 seconds to the clock up there. But, again, Coda Spody's doing a lot to try to cover Schiller, and she's leaving that net wide open. Just the young goalkeeper trying to do a lot back there to compensate for just the great positioning by this Pat Met offense. And I believe they're putting 2 more seconds on the clock. We'll see.
Carly Amato will start with it for East Islip, and whether you have 12 seconds to move the full length of the field or 2 minutes here, East Islip has to try to get down there and get some sort of a shot the way that these past 12 minutes have gone for them. They started this game up 3-1. Now it's 11-4, Pat Med. So it's definitely been turned. Both referees now speaking with the scorers, and they get an extra 7 seconds there. So 17 on the clock. Enough time for EI to try and move up the field here. We'll see what Amato tries to do, if she tries to stretch it with a pass or not.
Interesting that she's the one starting with it, because you kind of count for her to be that quick transition. She's going to send a home run ball down there, though.
Up the sideline, and it's bobbled. DeSantis bumped out of bounds. And the clock will continue to run. 3 on the clock now. They need to get a shot off. They won't, as it's taken away by Isabella Peterson. And through 24 minutes, 11-4 is your score. Pat Med on top. Really convincing finish from them. They look to do it again, while East Islip, who showed signs, look to get back into this game when we return. You're watching Long Island Girls Lacrosse here in Suffolk County on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash! What a way to end the third quarter.
Look at this. Merrill. No slide. No problem. Gary Merrill goes top corner.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media. High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash. What a way to end the third quarter.
Look at this. Merrill. No slide. No problem. Gary Merrill goes top corner.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a SPORTSCAST today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back live for second half action here on the Varsity Media Sports Network for Suffolk County Girls Lacrosse. Beautiful spring afternoon here from East Islip High School as Pat Med and East Islip have been facing off here. And all spring, you're going to want to stick around with Varsity Media. You can actually book a sportscast. Now is a great time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast. Our professional announcers bring the stories of your athletes to life, highlighting their accomplishments and the hard work behind every game. With Varsity Media Sportscasts, you can keep fans, family, and alumni connected even when they're far away. It's a perfect way to showcase your athletes and create lasting memories for everyone involved. You can reach out now to book a sportscast at 516-403-2050. It's 516-403-2050, or you can email ben@varsitymedia.net. That's Ben, B-E-N, @varsitymedia.net. So in this one here, Pat Med has just completely controlled the game in that second quarter. And Rob, what does East Islip have to do now coming out to try and get themselves back in the game after such a strong first few minutes?
I mean, I think the number one thing Coach Levy has to do first is to remind his girls that there's an opportunity for a comeback, but no matter what, they've got to start picking up their, what their team identity is going to be. Do we start settling down on defense? Right now, Coda Spody trying to do a lot back there. She's trying to cover Schiller. So, how do we buckle down and create a transition game and protect the ball? I mean, there's just been a lot of turnovers. This team has a bright future. They look athletic. They move well. They've got to start bringing that aspect to the game without burning themselves out and mentally staying in a game that's 11-4 right now.
And I think it's always encouraging, at least in these situations. 11-4 could happen in a couple different ways, but East Islip's almost had a more positive path to losing 11-4 because they've shown that they do belong in this game and that they can dominate stretches of the game. So as a player, I think you have to be able to just sit back and say, all right, we're able to play with these girls, but how do we get back to doing it now consistently? And down 7 goals, you're going to have to do it over the next 24 minutes and not do it for 5 minutes of the next 24 minutes.
Yeah, you said it. And again, it comes down to that transition game. A lot of turnovers in the midfield. They're getting pinned down in their defensive zone, playing on their heels a lot, and then not finding a way to get that ball back up the field and into the hands of the offense.
And you can see some of the college commits on these teams. And for Pat Med, these girls have dominated the game. Haley Stratton, Olivia Liddell, Alexa Schiller. And you see in the faceoff circle is Olivia Liddell. And that faceoff circle, the draws have been as much a reason as any. But East Islip finally wins one here. And moving in with a purpose is Carly Amato.
And I love on that graphic, Addison Rulin committed to Army.
Yep, you have Haley Stratton going to UNC Charlotte, Olivia Liddell heading to Stony Brook, Alexa Schiller will stay on Long Island at LIU, and Addison Rulin going to Army. And that's just 4 of actual decisions to be made. Coach said there's a lot more on the way for his squad. So Pat Med, Lacrosse in a good place. These girls have one last ride together before heading off to the next level. And East Islip trying to flip this game back in their favor.
And we've officially cracked the 70-degree mark here in Long Island. 71 degrees down there, and you can feel it down on the turf. It's warm.
Behind the net for East Islip is Avery Bowden. Had a really strong start to this game, but the offense has just been quiet. Now rounding the crease and flicking one towards the net, but a save made. Playing tall all game has been Allie Stratton after a slower start. Pat Med gets another big stop there.
Yeah, it was a good look by Emily McEntee. It looks like she hurt her back or something. She kind of favored her back when she came out of that thing, but a little knuckleball that almost fooled Stratton.
Here comes Pat Med now the other way, setting things up. Moving it around, it's going to end up with Addison Ruland. Now Olivia Liddell, Peterson, to Durkin. We've seen a lot of that. Combo up top. And now right back to Addison Ruland.
5 different goal scorers so far for this Pat Med team. Durkin with 1. Addison Ruland with 2, and Peterson with 2, and then hat tricks by Liddell and Schiller. So a lot of scoring up on that team. 5 different girls accounting for the 11 goals.
And there's one towards the net, but it's going to end up over. And a good hustle to the ball to keep it with East Islip, or to move it with East Islip. That's Carly Amato, who on both ends just doing what a midi should do. And being pressured there. They're really putting some pressure on the freshman goaltender, Teresa Cotaspoti, when she has the ball. Almost lost another one there. Obviously the big turnover in the first half. Now Cotaspoti's just going to heave one towards midfield, and it might end up working out. And a whistle. Carly Amato, good job grabbing that, and a nice battle with Sophia Fox at midfield to try and acquire possession, but it'll end up with East Islip after that whistle, and now they have it in the offensive end.
Yeah, Fox really tracked down Amato. Looked like she was going to win that ball out of the air, and then just that little extra shove when it looked like she was going to get possession, and now we've got possibly a slash down low.
That's what it looked like, the signal from the official, and it'll be a big free opportunity for Heather Heffernan.
Heffernan, the long, lean junior.
Heffernan pass first, shot, score, near side, putting it in off the post. And that is a much-needed goal for East Islip. Anna Koloff with the finish, and a nice quick pass play there out of the free opportunity, and a great finish.
Yeah, how about that decision by Heffernan? It looked like she was going to beeline, and then she made the pass and that shot. And I can't tell. I mean, we'll take a look at it, but did it hit the pipe and then hit Stratton? Let's take a look. There's that shot. No, just pipe to pipe. So hitting that inside the pipe and then bouncing into the net. And a good sharp shot there. And like you said, a much-needed goal by Koloff. She gets her first of the game, and now 4 different scorers on the board for East Islip. Avery Bowden started us out with her first and only goal. McEntee's got 1, Koloff. And then Carly Amato, 2 that she scored back-to-back early in the game when East Islip was controlling the pace. And speaking of pace, Kev, it slowed down quite a bit in the second half.
It definitely has to start, and going down there off some contact, Addison Ruland will get a free possession here, but 8 minutes to play. Clock continues to run with that whistle, and now 11-5. So right now, if you're East Islip, you're just trying to close that gap, chip away here, and put yourself in a situation so in the final couple minutes, you're able to be in a spot where a couple good rushes could get you back into this game, tie it up. Right now, they can't focus on the score, just have to focus on each individual possession, and that starts here on the defensive end as Pat Med looks to extend their lead back to 6 or to 7.
Yeah, you said it. They're going to have to chip away 1 goal at a time. Try not to relinquish any on the other side.
Ruland in front. Good pass. Shot attempt won't go. Isabella Peterson had it, but a whistle. Not sure what the call was, but it's going to be a free opportunity for Isabella Peterson, who already has 2 goals, had a good chance there, but lost it.
Might have been a high stick they're signaling there, but it's going to get put on the hash, and like you said, it's going to be Peterson with the free possession here.
Peterson steps up, charge, shot off crossbar. Tried to go up high. And a nice break there for Tarita Cotaspoti, who gets beat, but still the freshman able to move on without a goal allowed.
And that was a heck of a shot. I mean, it was fired. The whole net moved.
And she had no thoughts of doing anything else with that. It was always go up high, try to go bar down, and she did. Pat Med will have it back here after some physical play and a whistle as the teams approached midfield. So the job not done yet on this possession for East Islip defense.
And Pat Med now can work with the clock. They can be a little bit more deliberate in what they're trying to set up, what they're trying to do. Again, Schiller.
How about that save? Schiller, point blank, ends up right in the pocket of Teresa Cotaspoti.
But again, setting up in that wide position, just wide open. I mean, good job by Cotaspoti to say, I'm not going to step out and block you, but you're not scoring on me this time.
Now a good run the other way off some momentum from the save. DeSantis has it. Gianna DeSantis charging towards the crease, ends up behind it again. Now resets things with Heather Heffernan. Swings it over to Carly Amato. Now back for Avery Bowden. They continue to move to Emily McEntee, who sends back up for Amato. Good side step. Amato charging. And a whistle. Must have been off the ball there.
Yeah, it looks like there's some questioning on the side as to what was going on. But, yeah, off the ball, and it's going to be set up now.
Kira Block will have it on that right wing, right next to the official who made the call.
And everybody got confused, you know. I mean, Amato had a solid possession there. The whistle was quick. Looked like Amato was a little annoyed by that, too, as she was trying to pressure. And that whistle stymied her opportunity.
30 on the shot clock. Amato sends it up top to Block, who swings it down towards the net. Playing it behind the net. Here's Bowden. Good pass in front. Shot is going to go. That's Emily McEntee, who takes a nice step out in front, gets it. Good hand-eye, puts it towards the net. It looked like it may have bounced off of Stratton on its way to hitting nylon.
Yeah, here's the look right now, and it is a nice pass. It's coming out of that wide position, and you got it. A little bounce off there, but that goal by Emily McEntee set up by Anna Koloff. A good job there, and that's kind of what we were commenting on Schiller on the Pat Med side. She came out of that wide position untouched, and boom, a nice pass and good hand-eye coordination to get that shot on net.
Now the score 11-6, just like that, East Islip can start to feel good about where they are in this game compared to what it was at half.
Yeah, 2 unanswered goals here. That's how you want to start. This is how they started the game, ironically, right? It kind of was a similar vibe, quicker, but nonetheless, East Islip 2 unanswered.
Pat Med now moving the other way. They could use a goal here just to get their confidence back after a few possessions. Moving it up that left side is Lily Durkin. And now it's down low for Alexa Schiller. Back to Durkin, and she'll reset things to Ruland.
So for East Islip offensively, the one adjustment it seems like Coach Levy has is that they are working behind the net a little bit more, out of the X, out of the Y. And we didn't see much of that. They were working the perimeter out in front of the net and now starting to move the ball well behind it.
It's a charge and a check losing the ball, but scooped up by Ruland, an attempt at the rush for Liddell. Stepping in and losing the ball was Bivacqua. But Gianna Bivacqua still has a chance here on the ground ball, won't get it. And now moving the other way quickly, Heather Heffernan sends it across. Pass can't be handled. Ground ball, a big one. 50-50 ball there, and the whistle will give it to Pat Med as Gianna DeSantis lost a step in her pursuit.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Heffernan did a good job moving it down. She made that pass, but I guess thought DeSantis was a little taller than she is, and just a tough one. They had a nice break there. Even when Heffernan scooped it up, a little hesitation, then she got it and off to the races. And that's a tough one for East Islip.
Swinging it around here, Durkin, Peterson, Liddell. Right now in the hands of Durkin.
You don't want to jinx anything, too, but a very clean game so far. The game's been moving at a really nice pace. Some early penalties called against Pat Med, but
nice one centered up there, and the opportunity will end up saved. So getting comfortable now in the second half is Teresa Cotaspoti, the freshman.
yeah, she's got 2 saves in the second half, 4 total so far as my unofficial books go.
That pass not going to be complete, and now moving the other way. Trouble. That shot, an easy one, as Cotaspoti was pulled all the way out. And the goal will be Alexis Schiller's 4th of the afternoon.
Well, it's Alexis Schiller's coming out party today. I went down there and spoke to the books to get another look here. A really nice pass to Durkin and a wide open. Cotaspoti didn't have a shot on that. That's a tough one. She threw a stick afterwards in frustration. But, go down there and speak to the book. And I had mentioned Schiller getting a lot of space down low. And the book's like, yeah, and Rulin, Liddell, and Peterson are our go-to. She's kind of our 4th scorer. But she's a handful, I'll tell you. If you're focusing on the other 3, you can't leave her wide open. 4 goals now today.
And when your 4th option is a college commit, a D1 commit.
A D1 commit.
You're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, to say the least. I'm very impressed with her play. I really enjoy how smart she is as far as her positioning goes, her ability to, either set up plays or finish them.
She's a D3 commit, going to LIU.
All right, she's LIU. Oh.
And there's a goal the other way. East Islip, quick response.
Is that Avery Bowden getting her second?
Believe so there. Bowden, when they've been able to control possession, has been very effective today.
Yeah, here it is. Down and a little tip there. Bowden, good hand-eye. She steps to her left, shoots to her right. And Bowden with the finish there, but some good hand-eye coordination there as Kiera Block got that ball down to Bowden.
And when we look on the replay, sometimes those plays look so simple, but it's a quick second interaction for Bowden to be able to scoop that up. And you look through the commits here for East Islip. Carly Amato will be heading to UMass, and she's been great today. And Alyssa Charles, who's not in this game today, is going to Howard at the next level. So East Islip, again, this program's in a good spot, especially when considering the freshmen and then a couple leaders who are going to play at the next level.
Yeah, and Carly going to UMass. I spent a couple months there on a grant, and what a great place to go to school. Really wonderful if you, I don't know, I'm all about that area, that neck of the woods, and UMass, absolutely a beautiful place.
You don't hear a bad thing about UMass.
No, just the whole New England area. It's got a great vibe, and she's going to love it there. So, Carly, I know you're playing lacrosse there. You're going to be focused on your athletics and your academics, but enjoy your time in Massachusetts. Beautiful up there, especially fall season. Cranberry bogs, all kinds of good things at UMass.
Rob, very cultured guy.
I love it. I feel like if I had another life, I was born in Massachusetts.
With the ball now.
I'm not too far from retirement, though, Kev. Maybe
in this life, you're in Massachusetts. There's a goal.
Oh.
As moving in was Isabella Peterson on the charge, the assist from Addison Ruland. That's a big goal with just over a minute, 1:01 left in the third.
Yeah, take a look. She just fires it over the top, and Cotaspoti just turned around in disbelief that ball got past her. And like you said, kind of a backbreaker. It looked like East Islip was starting to get a little momentum going, and just like that, the Raiders take it back. And Peterson now with a hat trick. She is the third player on this team to put 3 in the net. Ruland knocking on the door. She's got 2. So the scoring coming in droves. And again, you said if Schiller's your fourth option, you can kind of see why. Peterson with 3, Liddell with 3, Rulin with 2.
And Peterson's day overall has felt fairly quiet in usage, but the few opportunities she's getting, absolutely capitalizing. So you can see this team can just come at you from anywhere, and it does feel as if they have 4 or 5 girls who can take over these games if the others aren't able to do so.
Like you said, that's 8 goals out of their midfield. And out of their attack, they've got 5, 4 coming from Schiller.
We'll see if they add anything in these final 25 seconds of the third. Penetration attempt there won't go. With it was Reese Holiday, now back to Ruland. Approaching the 10-second mark. Here's a shot on up high, and Peterson does it again. Going up top for the goal. With 10 seconds to play in the third, it's now a 14-7 game.
What did you just say about her? Quiet until she's not. And here she is again. Finding space. You can see she just winds up, takes a shot, and didn't even fire it. Just kind of a little bit of a layup. She did a little skip and shot and over the top. And Coda Spody maybe screened on the play. She didn't really make much of a move there. And you got to hope that the freshman goalie's feeling all right, mentally. It's a lot when you start getting overwhelmed like that. But Coda Spody's been doing a great job, communicating well, moving her defense into position and helping out defensively herself. You just got to hope that she's able to stay focused in this one.
And it's certainly a tough thing to conceptualize when you're a younger player and a young high school freshman. But sometimes these early season games where you face some really good competition and you don't have a day that you're totally proud of are the things that make you more mature as a player and the things that really propel you late in the season. 5 seconds left here for Pat Med. Quick rush. And the clock will expire on the third quarter, but another dominant frame from the Raiders. A couple glimpses from East Islip, but overall, it's all Pat Med here with 2 touchdowns in this game. 14-7 the score and 12 minutes left to play when we come back here in this East Islip versus Pat Med Girls Lacrosse Showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net. When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Back live for the final 12 minutes here from East Islip. I'm Kevin Bunkstrom. I'm my partner Rob Anderson on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Pat Med's been dominant, 14-7 the lead. And when you're watching Varsity Media, you might just see the 2 teams and you see the full game broadcast, but you could also ISO the video. Parents, Varsity Media is now offering close-up video of just your athlete. The film pinpoints your son or daughter's play, helps them improve throughout the season, and makes for a better recruiting video. Included in our ISO video, we'll post highlights of your athlete on our social media, which has over 70,000 followers. Spots are limited, so reach out today, 516-403-2050. That's 516-403-2050, or Jeff at varsitymedia.net. That's Jeff, Jeff, at varsitymedia.net. And ISO video is great. I mean, that's the type of thing I wish I had in high school, to just ISO the only 4 or 5 plays I made all season and then send in the recruiting video to coaches. But
all of a sudden, Kevin Bunk's a rock star out there.
Great.
This guy played 3 minutes.
Great feature for the Varsity Media, or from Varsity Media here, from our team. But for East Islip, they're trying to make this a close game early here. You only have 12 minutes to score the amount of goals you've scored all game. And it's a tall task ahead. You just want to try and finish strong, though. And we do have some changes on the field that I'll get to in a moment, but Aubrey Jones checks in on the defense. She's played a few today. And both goaltenders will remain the same. It looked like there may have been a change, as it's a 14-7 game, but with it here, Pat Med comes up with their most involved player today, Addison Ruland. Brings it up, and then to Peterson, who has just been dominant. Strong finish to that quarter, multiple goals. Finish things off, 2 goals in about a minute stretch, maybe less, for Peterson there on back-to-back possessions, and now with it is Liddell. A lot for Pat Med to be proud of, their offensive zone work today, working with this shot clock as well. There's a good interception there on the attempted entry, and a check. That's a big check there. Anna Koloff went down after the interception. So East Islip will have it. Koloff right back up the play. Heaves one downfield, and it's completed. And now numbers for East Islip. Gianna DeSantis has it, centers it up. Charging the crease. Good side step, sidearm shot, and score from Heather Heffernan. Really nice sequence up the field there, and a terrific finish.
You said it. Heffernan switching hands there for her first tally of the game. And it was that long pass and then a beautiful pass over to Heffernan. And look at that step between 2 defenders, sidearm past the keeper. And this is what East Islip has been good at, is scoring quick and early. They start every quarter with, just some quick scoring opportunities. And we'll see if they can build on it, though, because Pat Med has been answering every single time.
11 minutes on the dot here as the face-off circle is filled once again with Olivia Liddell. And that time you saw Carly Amato step in for East Islip. She won it, and now moving up that right side, Gianna DeSantis has it. She started that breakout off the great feed from Koloff, which led to a goal. There's a nice pass in front. Quick shot is going to end up wide and out of bounds. East Islip will keep possession, 10.5 minutes to go.
And now starting to use that X position, that Y position. Bowden in the X there. Now they're rotating.
Pass to Bowden in front, went wide, but Amato picks it up quickly and continues possession for East Islip. Koloff swings it around to the most recent goal scorer, Heather Heffernan. Has it, nice step. Good footwork to get around the defender, who was Addison Ruland, the midfielder. Working behind. Another rotation there. It's McEntee with the ball. She moves to her left. And now the ball with Avery Bowden.
And you got to like how they're starting to move that ball behind the net. They weren't doing that before. It's a good adjustment. Get Pat Med moving that defense a little bit more, maybe pull somebody out of position.
9.5 minutes to play. 25 on the shot clock. Good pass in front. Amato's shot saved. Ooh. Saved or blocked. Didn't get through, though. It was a great opportunity. And a fresh shot clock for East Islip, but they don't want to use too much of it, down 6 goals with 9 minutes to play. Bowden has it. Good pass in front. And the finish for Emily McEntee. They finally get one there after a long, productive offensive possession.
You said it. McEntee getting her hat trick for the East Islip Redmen. And where does it all start, Kev? We said from behind the net, Bowden dishes that one out, and McEntee with the finish. But that's a big difference. They weren't doing that the entire first half of the game. Now they're setting up in the X, rotating between the X and Y positions, generating something from behind the net, and catching Stratton off guard. A good job by Emily McEntee to finish, and now she's got 3.
And they made this change in the face-off circle, so once again, Carly Amato will head in there, taking them. Usually it was Anna Koloff, but Koloff had to go with the change, just a bit of an advantage on the draw for Olivia Liddell today. And that one is won and possessed by Pat Med. They'll slow things down here. They want to use a lot of this shot clock at this point in the game. Take a look at the upcoming schedule for the leaders in this game. 14-9 the score. Pat Med on top. Coming up, North Babylon next week, and then they got a home game against East Hampton. So back home after a few on the road. That's a morning game next weekend. Then you can catch them at Northport and Smithtown East. And there's a goal for Pat Med as they just continue to roll. Dominant affair now. 15-9 is the score with under 8.5 to play.
Yeah, and a really clean finish there as we take a look at the replay. Ball put out in front. Durkin with a little backhand, nifty backhand on the open net as Coda Spody came out and challenged. But that was a sweet play there, huh? Little backhand hockey style.
And you saw the celebration from her teammates, loved what they saw.
And again, Coda Spody maybe, again, doing too much. Coming out trying to play the role of the defender. Got caught, and a nice move there. Great hand-eye coordination by Durkin. A dip down low and just backhanded into a wide-open net.
And for this East Islip team, you just wonder how much the absence of Alyssa Charles has played in this defensive game for them, because she's a senior captain on that back end, college commit. She'll be continuing her academic and athletic career at Howard University, and they'll get her back moving forward, but definitely an absence that I think they feel right now. Just a couple of mental lapses that a senior captain probably fills in the role of doing, fills in those poor plays early in a season. With the ball, a nice swim move to get under. Doing a lot of work here, Olivia Liddell draws a whistle. They continue play, and she puts it in. The East Islip defense stopped playing there on the whistle. Liddell for a moment as well stopped, hesitated, kept going, and she puts one low, bounces it in past Teresa Codaspodi.
Yeah, you said it. Everybody froze. A little freeze tag. Stop. Hey, wait a minute. I can keep playing. And boom, the bouncer underneath the left leg of Codaspodi. So that whistle kind of just confused everybody on the field. And, coaches say play the whistle. I guess they kind of did, but play continued, and that's a 4-piece nugget now for Liddell. So Peterson, Liddell, and Schiller 4 apiece, accounting for 12 goals, 3 players out of the 16. And you know that Addison, Rulin, and Durkin wouldn't mind getting their hatties. They got 2 apiece.
Back in the face-off circle for East Islip, Anna Koloff, as they continue to just try and change the looks against Olivia Liddell. And now with it going the other way, Addison Rulin off the win. 7:50 to play in this game. 7-goal lead for Pat Med on the road, looking for a big win early in their season. And they take it real slow here. And that's going to be a whistle. But they continue play. An attempt to center was lost and quickly scooped up by Emerson Black. She'll retreat now. Send it back to Codaspodi, but it's going to be a turnover. And it just kind of sums up a couple of the marginal struggles East Islip's had today. And there's a heck of a play by Codaspodi to intercept that.
She's aggressive.
Yeah, very, very aggressive, and something that, as a freshman, maybe gets toned down over the next few years, but maybe doesn't, and maybe it's just a great asset.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't turn it down, you just got to learn how to utilize it in positions better. But I love it.
Nice move to the net, but couldn't keep it cradled there. Good attempt from Gianna DeSantis, though, and a nice pass to center it up, and McEntee's got another. So East Islip showing fight, though, here. Only down 6 with 6:47 left, so it's not out of the realm of possibility to be able to make a run with a couple of face-off wins.
No, you got to love it. There's absolutely no quit in this team. And you can see McEntee just blast that one in. That's her 4th goal of the game, so she's keeping pace with their counterparts on the other side. And now, again, you said it's a 6-goal difference, 16-10, a lot of tallies up on that board. But East Islip not quitting, which means Pat Med's probably going to be keeping their starters out here for a while.
Again, 16-10 your score, 6:47 to play. And you're right, we had earlier spoken about maybe you can get the bench in, get some of these girls some reps early in the season. You don't know who you're going to rely on later on in the year, and you want to continue to develop those players that don't get as much run. But in this game, it's just not opening up in the way that you'd hope if you're trying to do that. Off the field is Carly Amato for East Islip, so a big presence offensively for them, the midfielder, as she's stretching out on the side. But East Islip still moving it in without her, as Gianna DeSantis has it. And now they work behind the net again. Avery Bowden has it. Sends it up top. Heffernan. Centers to McEntee. McEntee switching hands to her left. Squaring up the defense now. Looking to make it a 5-goal game is East Islip. This is a huge possession for them to continue to feel as if they have a shot at getting back into this game. Nice pass in front. McEntee rings it off the post. And a good ground ball, scoop up, but lost right there. Heffernan has it, checked away. Good effort right now to try and knock it loose. Addison Ruland all over it. And Pat Med will win that battle. Now Stratton has it. That's a great effort by Addison Ruland, who is doing it at both ends of the field and everywhere in between.
Yeah, she's really showing how good of an athlete she is out there. And you're seeing it all over the field. And, again, with this East Islip team, they have just not given up. They're setting up some really nice scoring opportunities, moving the ball well down low. And now, Kev, 74 degrees out here in Long Island, our first beautiful day.
A shot towards net. Nice save. And immediately heaved down. Good numbers. That's a great job by Coda Spody. Make the save, get it upfield quick.
Took a little while, but she's finding that rhythm now. Unrattled by the scoreboard and feeling her team's comeback attempt. And there's another goal from East Islip.
Point blank look for Gianna DeSantis is converted, and now 16-11 the score. You need a goal per minute, 5 on the dot the rest of the way, and the defense needs to keep coming through. A nice assist, too, from Carly Amato.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying watching DeSantis play. She converts that one. Again, deeks to the right, shoots to the left. DeSantis wasn't a starter as far as, on the lineup card, but she got in this game immediately and has collected a lot of minutes. She's fast and can get into positions well. Very impressed with Gianna DeSantis.
We'll take a look at their upcoming schedule. Regardless of the outcome today, a big stretch of games coming up for them. Bayport Blue Point, always a tall task, one of the best teams in the state in this girls' side. And then another home game against Hampton Bays at Port Jeff, and then they play John Glenn here. So 3 of their next 4 games at home. If you count today, it's 4 of 5 at home for East Islip. But a tough one coming up next against Bayport Blue Point. Here's Amato driving. Gets it to DeSantis, who just scored that goal.
Where was this play in the first half? They are working so well out of the back.
Nice pass out in front's going to get a whistle, and you wonder if they were trying to put this in after those first couple of possessions in the first quarter. And then the second quarter, Rob, it almost felt as if they had one possession the whole time and they scored on it, but they just never want to draw.
No, they never want to draw is right. And now, again, mounting this slow comeback.
Off the free possession, a pass, but no look towards the goal as they tried that earlier with Anna Koloff, and she was able to score. They couldn't get it there. Pat Med was ready for it. Now a pass towards the front tipped, but ends up right back in the stick of Bowden.
And you'd think McEntee with 4 goals would have just gone for that one. Whoop.
That one rings off the post again. 3rd post of this game for East Islip's offense. And now we're under 4 minutes, and they're 5 goals away. 3:50 to play. They got to really push it here because you at least want to get within They'll get another goal or two here. You feel good about your second half offensive performance, and there's one.
Wow.
Right off the pass on the inbound. Avery Bowden finished that one, I believe. Maybe it was McEntee. Will get a replay here as it got a bit crowded in the East. Islip faithful supporting their squad now after a few goals.
Yeah, there's that pass out in front, and
looked like it was Bowden.
yeah, Bowden. Bowden got a hat trick. Good job, Avery Bowden. And again, the adjustment of the Redmen starting out from the X position, the Y position, just getting some really nice passes out in front. Bowden converts. And we got a game. 3:41 left, but it's a 4-goal game, and East Islip just hitting all cylinders right now. I don't know if the Raiders have taken a little bit more of a, hey, we've got a nice lead. Let's try to, take a little off the gas and play a little more defensively. But I bet after this timeout, you're going to see a different team.
And it definitely has something to do also with the urgency of East Islip, knowing coming out of the half, we have to go on a great run. We have to play our best 24 minutes, or we got no shot here. And now just down 4, 3:41. Things can happen quickly, especially when you're winning the draws at the rate they are. We've seen it go both ways today.
And there's that Pat Med huddle. We take a look inside, and what is going to be the game plan for the next 3:41? I mean, the other part of this game that you alluded to, East Islip hit 3 posts. That could be right there. It's a 1-goal game if they happen to go in the right direction. And if I'm Haley Stratton, I'm going to take a selfie with that pipe after the game. It's been a big help for her today.
Absolutely has been. And for East Islip, that's always a frustrating feeling. You've had a couple great looks, and in a game where Pat Med has controlled possession for at least more than 50%. I don't know how much that margin would be at this point, though. East Islip's done a nice job recouping that possession time. But Pat Med has had majority of the possession in this game, so those opportunities are ones you have to convert on. And when you hit the post, you feel, as a shooter, you did your job. It just didn't go through. Game of inches type of thing.
Right.
And right now, East Islip heads back out there, and in the face-off circle for Pat Med is, as always, going to be Olivia Liddell. You wonder who EI will go with here, and it will be Carly Amato for a crucial face-off. Does feel East Islip has to win this one and get possession in the next 10 seconds if they lose the face-off in order to mount this comeback.
You said it, and honestly, it's been Amato she's such a sensational player, and Pat Med's done a nice job kind of shutting her down after an early scoring. But now her teammates starting to open it up. Bowden with a hat trick, McEntee with 4. So they can pay attention to Amato, but other people getting the job done. And a big possession now for Pat Med. Kill a little clock on this if they bang one in.
And almost the dream here for Pat Med. At the least, you want to use all 90 seconds. Even if you get a violation, if you could use all 90 seconds, that's a huge win. So they're going to try and chew the clock here. Work it behind.
And Kevin, what's nice for us is early on in the season, we're going to get a look at how these coaches handle the 90-second clock. Will you take the violation? Why not kill that minute and a half?
You wonder how much a team will change from the way they play now to the way they play come postseason time, late regular season time.
Oh, all those tight games, you can't just play catch anymore. No more monkey in the middle. You got to play the game. Nice interception there, and here comes East Islip. Heck of a job defensively by Emerson Block.
They needed that, and now they move it. Codaspodi's stretch pass is a little too high. A good hustle, and going down was McKenna Corcoran. And we're going to take a quick timeout here. 2:27 to go as they check in on Corcoran. 16-12 your score between East Islip and Pat Med in girls lacrosse. You're watching on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
The boys.
Back live, 2:27 to play as McKenna Corcoran is getting up on that sideline. You hear the applause. And you can check out the upcoming SPORTSCAST schedule here tonight. Wantagh East Islip boys lacrosse from the same spot. That's going to be at 6 p.m., so you want to stick around and stay for that, especially if you're on this East Islip side of things. That'll be a great game. And then you look at the rest of the schedule, it's just an exciting time of the year when the spring sports come around. Cold Spring Harbor, Manhasset. Again, Bayport, Blue Point, West Islip. That's a great Suffolk matchup. Bayport, Blue Point state champions last year. I'll be on the call for that on Tuesday at 4:30 from West Islip. Don Bosco at Chaminade and Wantagh at Port Washington. That's a great slate, and these teams are definitely looking to start the season on the right foot. And you can see there as McKenna Corcoran, under her own power, is off the field. And that's good to see. Took a tough fall there.
Yeah, you take a look at her on the sidelines. A little frustration that she's out of the game, but we'll see if they get it back in. Probably not worth it at this point. You want to keep her feeling well. So the sophomore on the sidelines, a little flustered. So we're going to kick it back in action again here in East Islip. A beautiful day, Kev. We know that Becca Kazaks wants to sunbathe as soon as she's out of here. All those kids down there getting a tan as we're in the booth.
Yeah, I would have loved to be up top today. I told you that. We'd be sweating. We'd be really boiling up there, but I need some color.
And you get to hang out with the great Ron Pierre.
Moving the other way here. Pat Med has it. Looking to just continue to kill clock and getting tripped up there, going down, but getting the whistle is the star of today's game, Alexa Schiller. Has been absolutely great. Headaches all game for East Islip. She has it here from behind the net. Swings it around. And now resetting things. It's Olivia Liddell. Liddell could pass in front.
Ooh.
And going down there was Gianna Bavacqua. Another great look, though, for Pat Med out in front of the crease.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. Did Mendola, it's hard to tell what happened there. It looks like Natalia Mendola might have got a stick in there. Emerson Block had her stick in there as well, but the foul called.
Charging in and scoring is Gianna Bavacqua off of that goal, off of that foul, excuse me. So the score now 17-12 with a minute 13, and that will probably do it and give Pat Med a big road win early in the season against the good East Islip team.
Yeah, here's a look coming in on that charge. She just takes that shot, and the one spot Coda Spody didn't cover up. It slides on through, so a nice shot there. And Bavacqua joins the list of scorers. She's the sixth different scorer today for the Raiders. And another attacker on the board. Minute 13 remaining in this one, and we'll see if we can wrap this one up. You got to tip your hat to the Redmen. East Islip doing a really nice job today, constantly staying in the game and make it uncomfortable for the Raiders. But once the Raiders got that lead early on, they never looked back and just kept creating distance, Kev. Like every time I looked, it was getting close, they just ran ahead again, and East Islip giving chase, but to no avail.
East Islip has some positives to work on, though, or to take from this game. 17-12, it at times felt a lot more lopsided, and it felt lopsided in both ways at times in this game. Right out of the gates, East Islip was clearly the team more prepared to start this game, but then Pat Med slowed themselves down, took a deep breath, and they were able to recover and play a really strong rest of the game. East Islip strong third quarter, though, and a strong start to the fourth. Definitely two teams here that could make a lot of noise this season.
Absolutely, and you're going to see adjustments happen throughout the entire season. Things out of work, and East Islip really started generating some good offensive opportunities as the game went on. And Pat Med, a stellar defensive team back there.
Terrific job defensively from the Raiders to make sure that the early lead from East Islip was halted. Good job by Haley Stratton, And now moving around, killing some clock here. 20 seconds left. Shot clock's turned off. It's Olivia Liddell who will probably just work to run this thing out. With 10 seconds to go. The applause starts. And Liddell will hold it, run it out. 2-1. And you hear the horn sound there. A big win for Pat Med. 17-12 here at East Islip. They were just able to do everything right after those first couple minutes of the game. And that's a huge win for Pat Cleary in his second year and his group of girls.
Yeah, you said it. Pat Med, a bright future defensively. Really impressed with Kellen Bernard and Kaylee Carita back there doing a really nice job, Berard. And then on the offensive side, I mean, they got goals from everybody. 4 from Peterson, 4 from Liddell, 4 from Schiller. Schiller, my player of the game. I thought she had such a huge impact in the shift. And on the East Islip side, a great job as well. Some good goal scoring out of McEntee and Bowden. And a heck of an effort by Carly Amato.
And how about the job from Haley Stratton? Gives up a few early, but then you see in that first half she was on fire afterwards, and she made a couple big saves. We're going to show you our breakout goaltending save of the game. The save of the game brought to you by Breakout Goaltending Group, Long Island's longest-running goalie-exclusive training program, serving boys and girls elementary through college age all year round since 2004. You see the replay here. Great save, and right there set the tone for her game moving forwards. Great job by Haley Stratton, who is a junior, was one of the best in Suffolk County last year, clearly on that same trajectory this season.
Yeah, and the best part of her game is she doesn't just make the saves, but she transitioned also very well. You saw it there in that full extension on the save of the game, and then just dishing it out for an offensive opportunity. It starts in the back. Good job.
Well, that'll do it today from East Islip High School. For myself, Kevin Bunk, my partner, Rob Anderson, we thank the entire team here at Varsity Media. And even more so, I thank you for sticking with us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Make sure to stay tuned tonight for East Islip boys. Huge game tonight and great lacrosse on the slate the rest of the week and the rest of this spring season, among other sports. We thank you for joining us and look forward to seeing you next time here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.